Hello, dear friends. Here I am at Stanford Museum, and behind me is this wonderful painting, and we will blah 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 about. Okay, let's take a close look at this painting. We start by seeing the whole picture of it. This painting is called Half a Dam. Half a Dam. You can see the title is inside this painting, and it's a pun. We will slowly explain about why it comes out such a name. The artist is William Allen. Now we take a look at his name, William Allen, and the painting was done in 1971. So this painting is quite a typical representation of California funk. I actually do not know so much about this word funk. It came from the jazz music, inspired by jazz music, and a group of Northern California artists here, Northern California. And this painting may connect it to Washington, and I will tell the story a bit later. So Northern California artists, they wanted to develop their own style, and they felt that the abstract expressionist like Jackson Pollock, and just very expressive, something like this one. It's kind of a abstract expressionist, which is physically very, very expressive and very powerful and very free and out of any rule and particular dimension. It's an expression of internal landscape which does not have much form and does not have much rule and regulation. It's very intuitive. And then this group artists also want to be away from the New York minimalism, very cool, very cold, very rational, very, very distanced. I will try to find some of those artwork. Might be this one, yes. It's very cool, very rational, and very, very well calculated, but just does not have very much feeling and warmth in it. And also, this group of artists wants to be different from the space and shadows and light painting of Los Angeles. So they established their style. This is one of their painting, and this painting, and this painting. It's kind of playful, it's kind of cool, and I can very much connect those Northern California artists. They, what do I say, their unique character. And I like this painting particularly. The first thing, it attracted me because of the skill of artwork. I am still quite connected with realistic painting, with the painting skills, with painting techniques. And I always think to paint something that is as good as it looks, as similar, as true as it looks, is one of the highest skill. So I really appreciate this. This one looks, the stone, the rocks looks so real. And there is another thing about this. It's not a picture. If it is picture, there is not that much poetry in the painting. And the painting has something that is so unique, that is so poetic. It's because it's made by hand. It's not made by machine. And there is so much more of the human feeling and so much more of a personal touch in it. So this painting is called Half a Dam because of at the time of the painting was naturalist activism. They were trying to protect the environment, and they have the argument with the development, and they want to take care of the land and keep nature to be nature, keep wild to be wild, not train, not tame the nature, and let nature to develop and to go, to flow its own way. So William Allen, he was particularly good in painting three things: sky, water, and fish. And in this painting, he got all his strengths on full display. So the sky is covered by trees, but you can almost see from far, further away, the light in the sky of trees, tree sky, forest sky, and not so dense forest. And this part a bit dense, and this part is much lighter. And the water, last night I came here, I spent 1 hour, almost 1 hour, just looking at the water. When you recule, when you go backward a little bit, you can see this water. The darker blue is the deeper water, and the shallow water is greener color. And even more shallow water is this rock color, right? And it's such a vivid interpretation and illustration of the water. It's very impressive. And the layer of water by applying white, applying different kind of color. I feel that this one is a diluted acrylic painting. It's an acrylic painting, it's not oil painting. So it is just perfect to paint water, because acrylic you can put water, blend water in. I may be wrong, they dilute with some thinner, but I feel there is a lot of water in this painting, so make this painting very much light, clear, transparent, and watery. And the rock, look at this rock, how good was the painting. You can see the light, the shade, the shadow, and the fish is just so vivid. So he made this painting's name Half a Dam for two reasons. One is this fish, the salmon fish. And the salmon fish just stay on rock, rest on rock. He may be dying. The fish might facing the end of its life, but it's okay. He did not give even half a dam to go back to the water to follow the main stream. And I just feel it's almost painting the artist himself, not giving half, not even half a dam of the mainstream art trend. He developed his own way of language. He developed his own way of expression, not following anybody, go his way. It's just so good, the painting. Half a dam. On the other hand, you can see the half a dam on the painting. It's really not a complete dam, it's half a dam. So it's a pun for a non-native speaker. It's interesting to get this pun. And people are taking nature for granted and taking the ownership of the land, of our nature, without even thinking about the nature. And nature is only for us to use and not for us to appreciate, not for the future generation. And just to build something to the waterway and stop the natural flow of the water and change and develop and profit from nature, from the natural force, profit from what we can, because we are more capable, because we have machine, because we are more capable of exploring the nature. And nature does not have machine, and nature does not have an intelligence to build something to go against it. But who knows? The fight between human and nature is a long-term fighting. At the end, nature will come back and will ask us to pay back what we have owned to nature, what we have damaged, and what we have done wrong with the nature. You can give half a dam, or you cannot even give half a dam to nature, but nature knows what it has been treated, and nature knows how to return this unfair, disrespectful treatment that we give to nature. So this painting, from the point of pure art, from pure of artistic skill, it's impressive. Such a beautiful, harmonious color, and blue and green and brown. This brown color combines and contrasts the land. It compromises, and the brown rock compromise and combines, and just goes so well with the river edge and the dam and some of the tree trunk. And the green is not solid, is not in its solitude. The green goes well with the tiny bit of green in the water. and some of the moss on the rock. And the whole painting is cool and cold, but some of the rocks is relatively warm color scheme. So it's a beautiful, balanced contrast, compromise, and coherent painting. The choice of color makes you feel so comfortable. The choice of color makes you feel so comfortable and so relaxed. So the artist is making a joke of is laughing at what we have done to nature, but in such a playful and light-hearted way, not confrontational, but confrontational in a smart and wise and witty way. Don't you like this painting? After all these explanations, and so I really love this piece of painting, and especially what is happening now. If we do not care about our nature, nature knows, will return. This world is a fair world. You may have language, you may have machine, but nature also has justice. It will come back to haunt us if we do not care about. If we do not care about this world we are living in. Okay, now we take a look at the artistic expression or the pure aesthetic of this piece of painting. So there is light, there is dark, and not in stark contrast. There is this darkness and lightness in a harmonious contrast, and there is movement in this painting, not only through the water movement, but also through the waterway zigzag. Let's see the water come from here, 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 and then move away. So you can see the water is zigzag. And if you just come and take a look and go away, of course we do not see so much detail. But if we pay some attention and closely looking at it, our eyes actually is moving around. Our eyes move from the source of the water, Our eyes move from the source of the water and then move to the light, and then suddenly we are bumped into this half a dam, the world, and start to wonder what is about, and then go to the brightest point. Always, whenever there is a painting, our attention is on the brightest, the point, a spot, so or the biggest contrast. So our eyes are attracted there, and then move on to that, to the end of the steam, and we go to the next level, and we found a fish here. So your eyes is moving around, And if you have time, and if you have more interest or curiosity, you will look at the eye of the fish, what the fish is looking at, and your eyes move around again, and see more interesting things. As you move on, or as you spend more time, you start to pay attention to the color of the rocks, and color of the trees, and the branch of the trees, and you notice that there are different kind of trees. There's one tree like a pine tree. There are different other eucalypt trees, poplar trees, or all kinds of wild trees. And there is one tree that falling down, and it's a peaceful, calm, and relaxed painting, but with so much internal conflict, internal movement, and internal interest in it. Just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful painting. And it's so watery. You feel, this is so clean, so clear, and so moisty, and you feel your brain is totally cooled down, and just such a beautiful, beautiful painting. Spend some time to look at good painting, beautiful painting, to find some painting that can echo with your heart, can echo with your particular spirit or mindset, and enrich yourself. I'm tired. I will go to sit down to another place to find a place to sit to continue blah 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 with you. And I take this as a 40K special, because I have thinking about this so long time. Last night I came here, there was a concert, improvised concert. So it's quite interesting. Okay, hello dear friends. Now I will continue with my personal chat. Now I'm sitting on a bench and just chat you with some stories with in the museum. So the story was a couple of just last week. There was one day I went to work, and then I felt so stressed. So I woke up in the morning already a little bit late and arrived school just in time, and not late, but I felt so stressed. And then continuously 4 classes, and that was a particular day when students were not quiet, and it was difficult to control the class. Maybe because I was not in the best energy set, or maybe just a day not the best day. I was finding it very hard to catch up with something, and finally I got time to have my lunch and to go to the restroom. I heard my name was called, and then I realized I have a meeting. I had a meeting at that time, so I went to that meeting, and lunch put aside, half finished. And in the meeting we need to discuss something. I totally forgot it, and I didn't have my glasses. everything was I was so much under the weather, and everything was more than I could handle. And I went back home, and I went back home. I felt so tired and fell asleep. And during daytime to sleep, I felt very ashamed. To begin with, even in the night, I do not like to sleep. How about in the day? I felt very bad to sleep. And eventually I came back to... I woke up in the evening and start to think, what is going wrong? I was thinking, and I went back to everything I have done, and then I realized I was doing things more than I could, and we are all human beings, and we have a particular set of ability, our capacity, and if we do something beyond our capacity, we will break, we will fuse, right? And in the electric, we have our resistance, we have our capacitor, we have our capacity. We have our capacitor and a certain amount of capacity. If we go beyond that, our light, if it is a bulb, the bulb will break. And if it is an electric circuit, the circuit will fuse. If it is our body will stop coping with difficulty. Our body will stop to cope with us. Our body will refuse to work with us. So I was very shocked at that moment, because I have never felt so incapable, so incapable of doing things. And I felt my life was totally out of control, and I became a so unable person. That was a very, very desperate and disappointed feeling. And the reason is, when I calm down myself, the reason is that I was trying to do too much, or I was asked to do too much. If we give ourselves the right amount of time to prepare, if we give ourselves the right energy set to deal with a particular task, we can do. It's not that we do not have the ability. Our ability could be so big, so strong. It could be beyond our imagination, our thoughts, beyond our expectation. But if we do not make the right measurement, if we do not calculate enough, if we do not care about ourselves enough, we end up fusing ourselves and damage ourselves and destroy ourselves. It does not work. It does no good to ourselves. It it does no good to other people. It does no good to anybody. When there is too many things, when there is too much things, one important thing is you manage it. Now you can see that there are very, very hard job for some people to do. This person could be your most admired person, and very capable, very kind-hearted, and just the best person in the world. But whatever he makes decision, there will be people who likes it and people who does not like it, who do not like it. And in this time, one thing you can do, or you have to do, is to make a decision what you will do and what you will not do. Knowing that whatever we do, we will satisfy people and we will not satisfy people. Or in another way, anything we do, we will satisfy certain people. And anything we do, the same thing we do, we make some people happy, we make some people mad. It is just beyond our control because we have different believing, different moral standard. We have different value. You cannot try to make other people happy if you do not have that value. Whatever you do, the people who have different value will not like what you do. And for yourself, for ourselves, we cannot give up our value. We cannot surrender what we believe is right and not to do the right thing, to do what we believe the wrong thing, because it's against our own value. Knowing that anything you do, you make people happy and unhappy, then the important thing is to do something that you believe is right and you believe it's morally right, acceptable, and stand on your stand. Stand firmly on your stand, not legally. Because there are people who just does not like you. You cannot change them. You do not need to change yourself to please them. No. If you are a good person, if you believe what you believe, stay with it. Stand firm with it. This is a bit away from what I what is from this art exhibition, but I just feel that we need some time to cool down, to be away from the chaos, to be away from the struggles, to be away from the conflicts. There are too many noises, and the noise is from the people we disagree and also the people we agree. And we know that the person who disagree with you could be your very dear friend. It's just different value. You cannot change that person. That person cannot change you. To avoid conflict, maybe we can shut down the source of those confusing information. So I saw one person and told me he had some filter. He said he did not like a particular face. And then he had a filter. Then in any news, any information source, then he filtered it. It's called dun 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 filter. Dun dun filter. Not dun dun, not dun dun, not ding ding, not dong dong, but the person's name is filter. You can filter the thing you do not like. I think the good thing about having too many noises or having too many things happening is actually helping us. Is actually helping us to distinguish and to cool down ourselves and to make a decision to find what is right, what is wrong, what is beneficial to us and what is not. For the things that is not beneficial to us, and for the things that is not beneficial but we cannot help to change, we cannot change. Maybe we can just leave it and let the people who can change to change. If you do not live a fulfilled life, if you do not live a meaningful life, you cannot do anything. You are not a good example. You are not a good, strong person. Make sure you are strong before you try to help others, move others. This world change from one person first, from one person. That is yourself, not anybody else. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Give yourself some time to think, to slow down, to cool down, to reflect. It helps the world a lot. It is a big favor to the world. It is a big favor to the believing that you support. it makes me feel better to cool down myself and to see the artist expression. This is the good thing about modern art, that you can be here and be the owner of this piece of painting and put yourself into it, because there is no distance. A perfect realistic or super realistic painting, it's just too realistic, too close to real fact, that you cannot jump out of it. You cannot, you can, but it's much harder. But in front of a piece of abstract painting, you can actually use the metaphor, use the meaning behind it, use the spirit to interpret, to explain, and to think about your real life. Does it make sense? If we, for example, mathematics, if we do only the real numbers, arithmetic calculation, we are always on the arithmetic calculation number level. But if we substitute those real number with a variable and make it into algebra, or make into a concept instead of real number, we are more adaptive to different situations, to deeper thinking. So abstract can bring us into a level that is higher. And there are painting prettier and uglier. But if you think the modern art painting is not about pretty or ugly, it's about the mindset. You can see this guy is suffering. He had so much problem in his life. He had so much disturbance. He had so much suffering and struggle in life. And these struggles burst out into the painting. You can see it. You can see it's not a regulated, not a very well managed mental state. And this painting, and there was one time in our life, in a particular stage, we are this painting. We are a mass. Mass. We are a mass. M-A-S-S, I mean. No, M-E-S-S, messy. We are just as messy as this painting. It's us. This painting is the mirror of our mindset. We have passion, we have struggle, we have heart burning, hot passion, life, heart, and we have this cold, dark, and absolute forbidding power to bind us, to control us, to bandage us, and not letting us to to raise high, to fly. It totally makes sense, right? I hope you enjoy this blah blah blah. It's my 40K special for some friends who likes museum blah blah video. I love you, I really do. Really, 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 really do 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 do. You have a beautiful weekend. Whatever happening, no matter what is going on, never give up in your belief. Believe in what you believe and live your life with meaning, with joy, with happiness. If you do not have that, cool down, stop, and give yourself time to reflect, to think. You will be good. When you are good, you are the most powerful, the strongest. I love you, I really do. Do. I mean, I do.